types of conferences are very valuable because of the network and the people that you can meet at these types of events. So I think the best way is to try to network as much as possible. Some conferences, I don't know if SVOD does, but some conferences actually share a list of who's coming. So as an entrepreneur, any kind of opportunity you have to meet people, you should seize that opportunity. So definitely, networking either with potential investors or potential partners, or even, it could be a chance to recruit people to your team. So, trends, I think there's definitely trends in terms of what a lot of people tend to be attracted to when building a company. I generally would be cautious of just doing, trying to start a company in an area that's trendy, because trends don't last. Ideally, it's better to focus on pursuing something that you're very passionate about and where you think that there actually is a real problem that you want to solve. Ideally, also the kind of the sizable. The size of the market is big, so that's generally what I would advise. Obviously, I think whatever is trendy tends to be whatever is kind of the hot, startup at that moment. So back when Groupon was kind of the darling, there were spin-offs of tons of like Daily Deal clones, Groupon clones, and now there's a lot of commerce companies, and crowdfunding is a big thing now. So the trends will always change. I guess there's also a lot of Pinterest lookalikes, and but I think overall it's exciting. My advice is just like I said before, just to do what you think is something that you're very passionate about versus kind of doing what's in vogue. I guess it's hard to say anything that's not good. I mean, I think anything where you think the market is too small, or maybe it's very capital intensive, because that's kind of the beauty nowadays, that to start a company, it's a lot cheaper than it used to be. So, but you never know. Like, there's probably some kind of businesses where it is a little bit more capital intensive. Like maybe MakerBot might be a good example. I'm sure they got into 3D printing probably back when nobody was doing it. I'm sure many people told them that was stupid. But I'd probably just say anything that a startup shouldn't do is maybe something that they don't care about. But anyone can be wrong. So I think even if it's a lot of people are telling you no, then you're very determined. You can make it work. So I guess as an entrepreneur, you're going to get a lot of no's, a lot of rejection, failure. The default expectation for any startup is that you're going to fail. So your job is to not just defy those expectations, but also to not let that get you down, and really push yourself past that. There's all sorts of things that can happen in the life of an entrepreneur. I've seen a lot of crazy things. Usually, what you expect is, companies will run out of money, they don't get enough customers, but a lot of the biggest problems have to do with people. You and your co-founder don't get along, or you break up, someone on your team. So I think it's important to make sure that, obviously that you get through those things, and have expectations that those types of things will happen. And when I said it was going back to the people, a lot of it is just, you have to have a very strong team with you. And even if you have a very strong team, over the years people will change and something will happen. It's just something you have to prepare for. So, oh yeah, we're very open to international entrepreneurs. I mean, with our current accelerator batch, like more than half of the batch is international. So we have and these companies actually came over from their home country to be part of the program. They may go back afterwards, or they may try to stay in Silicon Valley. But we're very open to international. We have several folks on our team that are focused on certain country markets. And going back to what you were asking, what other types of what do we look for? You generally, I think overall theme, we do like things that are probably not that trendy, but things that have a very clear revenue model. Distribution is scalable. Obviously, at this stage, we're looking at the team very closely. And yeah, I mean, we also rely heavily on referrals from within our network. So if there's a 500 founder or mentor that can vouch for you, that's good. And we have a pretty big network at this point. We have probably over 200 mentors, close to 500 investments, all over the world. So I generally don't think it's too hard to try to find someone to get to know and vouch for you. But also for the accelerator, we do have an application process that'll start for the next batch, which starts in October. Applications will probably open in August, so yeah.